For the cutest little must-make fall DIYs, grab some of those beads from the Dollar Tree. And if you have the tiki skirt, they'll work perfect. If not, use some raffia cord or even the natural raffia or any kind of string. What you're going to do, you're going to string the beads together. And as you strand them on, you're going to find that about 18 is what I needed to complete a strand. And to get a complete row of the cornrow, you'll put 2 strands there and just leave a little bit of distance apart. But bear in mind the top of it for the corn shuck coming out, and you'll understand as we go along. So once I got those 18 on, slide them down, and I put my second row on there. And this is going to basically be one whole strand. Now I was able to string 4 strands onto this tiki skirt. And the way you'll combine them is you'll lay them together and twist one over the other. And this was 4 right here, but as I'd done these, I was making 2 or 3 sets and found you really do need 3 go-arounds for a total of 6 strands to make it look truly like a cob of corn. And they are gorgeous. They're so adorable. So tie some jute twine on there to corral it together and bundle it. And these look marvelous. It was so much fun. It's stress-free. You will really, really enjoy it. And I went ahead and done more. So here's a close-up of how to combine them. You'll take your strands and leave a space in between and wind them over the others. And as you do that, you'll see you'll need 6 in order to make it truly look like a cob of corn. And just corral all those together. And they're looking really good. That pink one was giving me a fit, so I think I actually got 1 extra bead on there. Now once you tie that jute on there, they begin to look just like cobs of corn. They are so adorable. Oh my goodness. So grab some paint, and I originally thought, I can get away with doing this like Pinterest did and just put my colors on there. Well, that did not work out. You will need to put 2 coats of paint. So as you can see here, I let that dry, went back, and then I added the extra row of color. I swaddled mine with some burlap, and it just takes just a small amount. I did mine in a rectangle shape, a little dab of glue, and voila, I got that on there, got it ready. And now I'm going to take a piece of fabric and tie it on there for that primitive, rustic corncob look. They just look so adorable. Got some jute twine, and you want to fluff out your raffia, trim it off, and voila, here we go. 3 cobs of corn. These are excellent bowl fillers, layabout, just adorable. Our bowl fillers you're going to really enjoy. These are the autumn bowl fillers of squirrels and acorns, and I found these in the 3 and 5 spot at the Dollar Tree. When I sized up the price, this box alone we will use in a future DIY is $5 at Walmart, or at Dollar Tree you can get it for $3. These acorns are so adorable, and if I had to cut these out, it would take a lot of time and space for me to get out equipment. But very easily I took the wood glue and used it in place of Mod Podge, and I was able to fit my burlap directly on the acorn. I just trimmed it out and traced it with my Sharpie. And then the fabric that I've elected for my color scheme this year for autumn decor, I placed that atop of the acorn, and it fit just spiffy. To add a little more twist to these as I worked along, I had also accentuated some of them with jute twine. And then I grabbed my paint markers, and on the box it showed a red squirrel, and I used the copper marker from Dollar Tree. But you'll find that I do change my mind, and I actually convert all of the squirrels black and their little tails copper with this marker. I then take my Sharpie marker and I place a line right where an acorn would meet its cap and its body. Voila! Look at these adorable bowl fillers. These would be great on your tier tray, tabletop, centerpieces, and accentuate your already autumn decor. How to make a burlap acorn. And this is truly a genuine from nature. We're going to use some plastic Easter eggs from Dollar Tree. You'll need your needle nose pliers, some pine cones, and fabric of your choice. Grab a lid that's fairly large, and I do measure this and give you the measurement, but right now I'm just working it out. I trimmed out this with a marker so that it would make it easier for me to cut, and this fabric is uneven. It's not quite as broad as the circle round I've chosen. And I went ahead and I cut my fabric. I needed to size it up to make sure I was going to have enough to go around my eggs. So now I'm just kind of checking it and sizing it up to see if I'm going to have enough fabric. And I get a measurement here of 4 1/4 diameter. So 4 1/4 quarter diameter, a little saucer or tray, something would look really, really great. And I just happen to keep this lid around because I'm constantly needing that diameter. Now I'm removing the needles from off the pine cone with the needle nose pliers and cutting the center of it off once all the needles are removed, and just kind of trimming it up because I want that to go atop of my egg. Now on the burlap, I'm going to show you, just pretend that you have 4 corners and go ahead and glue it as though it were 4 corners, just a dab. And once you've adhered that, go into those bow outs and press them in, a little bit of glue. And you're folding them kind of like a present, like gift wrapping. And this will make it nice and tucked and smooth and give it these nice little pleats around it, hugging the egg just right. And they're slippery. They are really slick and hard to hold to. But once you get your fabric on there, you got more to cling to. Now, gently go ahead and put a little bit of glue, very sparing amount, and put the needles back on. Now, you're going to get your first layer. As you notice, I am only putting glue on the edge of the needle. You do not want a big glob of glue, and you don't want to go crazy. Just, kind of, it's going to umbrella out. Now, you'll need your heavy-duty snips or a good sharp pair of scissors. You need to cut the top out of the plastic egg because if you have pine cones from North Carolina like I do, or any kind of pine cone like this, the wood is very strong and it is impossible to carve it out in the center. So it is easier to accommodate that top by simply trimming out the top of the plastic egg and then gluing the top of the pine cone. Now you'll start filling in the spaces. It's kind of like, filling it in, but this is the burlap one. Isn't she precious? Okay, now on fabric it's soft, so fold it 4 corners, so to speak, to find your center. And then on the small end of your plastic Easter egg is where you want to place the glue. So you want the small end to be glued onto the fabric. That way your larger is at the top, so it truly forms and looks like an authentic acorn. And these are absolutely stunningly beautiful. I could have made a dozen. I made 2 for the video, and I will be adding more to my home fall decor. They are simply beautiful, and they are so realistic. They are amazing. They are just an enlarged acorn, and everyone has enjoyed handling them. So I feel certain that these will get carried off, and I may as well make more. The great thing about having made these is I can add these to my florals, my fall florals, my autumn centerpieces, my tier tray. I can lay them around on the welcome tables, end tables, and coffee tables for my fall decorating. And if these get left laying around because of the way my decor scheme is, no one will think any different. So here we are. We've gotten so far to the top that it starts coming around, and that's where you want to stop and clip out the top of the plastic on the Easter egg. Once you've removed that, you can now put the acorn top on. So take the pine cone and go ahead and glue it. Once you place it on there, you will see what is exposed plastic-wise of the Easter egg, and you can begin filling it in. It will take just a minute amount of glue and just kind of like putty, you're filling in the spaces as you go. And I am here to tell you that Sure Bonder cordless mini glue gun is my best friend. Here she is. Oh, they are so cute. These are cute must makes, and you're going to have a ball making them. Just so adorable. To continue with our autumn and fall DIY decor, we have added the painting kit from Dollar Tree. This is the little truck Harvest Time, and I'm going to use my paint markers. This is a canvas, and it has a little easel that comes with it, and it does have paint. So even if you don't have paint markers, you have paint already in this little kit. The canvas is so forgiving. You can truly tell that it's designed for the kids' kits. And I went about putting on my blue. I grabbed my tangerine paint marker and did 2 of my pumpkins. I did the other pumpkin in the lime green. And now I'm going to use the cinnamon to put the stems to their brown color. I'm going to go back with a lighter blue and do my fenders on my little truck. Trust me, this canvas is so forgiving. You will not regret having purchased it, and it is so cute. It is a must make for your fall DIY decors. And take your paint markers and do it up. Blacken the tires and the mirror, the little handle on the truck, and even the headlights and tail light. If you have a brown or you have a Sharpie marker, you can do this little canvas. But the little paints that come with it are pretty cool too. And if you've ever used the little markers that come in the kits, they are the best accurate color I've ever seen. Now, I have already done the fence in a white, so I'm going back with a brown and giving it that rustic look. So this will be my fall rustic decor sign sitting about. Now, I'll probably put this on my tier tray or on my end table. It's so cute, and it looked really, really nice sitting at the coffee pot. Honestly, I just enjoy my little truck, and if you enjoy doing the little truck, you have to get the Harvest Time. A Dollar Tree offer with the kit everything that you need, or go home like I did. And I have been holding on to this thing for a couple of years. They have them every single year, and this year they've added even more variety. Now, I have continued to keep the tape running so that you can see very quickly how I was able to accomplish trimming out my truck and rusting it up, so to speak, giving it that primitive rustic appearance for your rustic fall decor. This will suit any decor. All you have to do is select the colors that fit your color scheme. So easy. And I had a ball. So to make it look like a real window, I took my cinnamon brown there and I just kind of sketched it back and forth, just a little back and forth zigzag. Now here's the easel. The easel is plastic, which is so cool because you can take your black paint marker or your white paint marker or your red or your brown and paint it. And it really dries really fast with these paint markers. So voila, there's the little easel. All right, I wasn't happy. I just have to have a frame with my color scheme fabric matching my decor. So what I did is I grabbed some ice cream sticks. You'll need about 6 for the trim of the frame. Grab my heavy snips there. Snipped them. No worries. If you have a sharp pair of scissors, you'll clip them the same. I grabbed the scrap pieces that I have cut off from doing the previous DIY. And I glued the ice cream sticks directly to the fabric. That made it all the more easy. And I had scrap burlap laying around too. So once I got the soft fabric of my Gig'em rustic check here and trimmed it down, I began gluing the other sticks to the burlap. The way I want this to look is pieces and parts just really truly give it a rustic fall decor feel. And as you can see here, I have strategically placed a burlap at the top, and then I'm going to put the gig'em down at the bottom. And I just kept going back and forth deciding. You are going to put glue on the very, very edge, so only half of your ice cream stick is going to form the frame. That way we don't cover up our little truck and the harvest time photo. Is he not charming? He is so sweet. Look at how sweet he is. He is so sweet, and he's blue, and he fits everything. Make the harvest time little truck. Hey there, DIYer. Has anyone told you how much they appreciate you today? Well, I'm telling you, I appreciate you very, very much. I'm Elizabeth here on the Dandysoap DIY channel. You hear my voice and you see my hands, but you seldom see my face. I make an appearance to tell you how much you're appreciated and to let you know that these fall DIY bowl fillers, tabletop scatter, and can be accentuated to your already autumn decor would be great ideas, including florals or wreaths or anything else that you might be making. If you'd like to show me your spin on it, I would truly enjoy that. You can find my email as well as all social links in the description box or on the about page of this channel. Put these things around everywhere, and bear it in mind that come Christmas, you might want to kind of do the same thing. It sure would shorten your span and make things a lot quicker. And always put your sense of style on it. Well, without talking you out and chat, let's get back to the video. Farmhouse Fall Coasters. This is such a custom handmade item, and they are both sides can be used. You're going to love it. Grab one of the burlap rolls if you like as your fabric choice or fabric of your choice, your cork mat, and either one of these pumpkins. There's the regular burlap, which I used both. Now, I prefer the jack-o'-lantern shape pumpkin, so I'm going to be using that. And this cork, it is adhesive, so I'm going to show you how you can cover up the jack-o'-lantern, or you can use the regular pumpkins. I went ahead and I laid it on my burlap, and of course trace it out with a Sharpie marker. So grab that and go ahead and cut them out. Now, as you can see here with the orange burlap from Dollar Tree out of their $3 spot, you can cover it with craft paper and then put the burlap into place if your fabric is thin and you're concerned about the jack-o'-lantern showing through. With regular burlap, it doesn't show as apparent. Now, this is going to be a thing of the past by the time we get done. And this cork mat is really easy to use. I traced out my shape onto the back of it, and then I cut them out. And I did make a set of 4 because, well, I had enough jack-o'-lanterns, but I didn't have enough regular pumpkins. Go ahead and peel the adhesive cover off and place your pumpkin on it. Then you're going to Mod Podge your fabric into place. Because I elected burlap, once I seal this on with a thin coat of Mod Podge, as you can see, I'm just making sure that I get it saturated and on the edges. And then I will do the regular burlap the very same way. This moves really fast, and it didn't take very long for the Mod Podge to dry. It's super fast and speedy. So as I brought these forth, we got to let them dry. Once they are dry, they are ready to be worked on. And as you can see, even the jack-o'-lantern face doesn't show very much on the orange. So here I was. I had my fabric. I'm debating, do I want to put that on the cork? Because that was the original plan. And then I changed my mind. Now, my fabric I got from Walmart. This is a fat quarter, and it has all of the Farmhouse, Fresh Market, local bought pumpkins, the pumpkins, all of the graphics that I really loved, and the little truck. The pumpkin sets, I just loved everything. So I began fussy cutting with my pinking shears. and cutting out all of these decals printed on this fabric. Well, I began looking at them and working them and switching them back and forth, and I'm telling you, I wanted to use all of these graphics, and I thought, how can I make these fit and really show them off? And I decided to put them on the burlap side. As you can see here, I'm sizing it up. So this is what I did. I basically did just like you were decoupaging anything else. I Mod Podged the pieces onto my burlap coasters as I seen fit. I placed them where I wanted them, custom made them. They are a one of a kind. There will not be another set. And you just need to put just enough Mod Podge there to get your fabric, and then you want to coat your fabric really good. This one, it looked better with just a little bit of that orange burlap, which I fell in love with. And they have purple and they have black available at the Dollar Tree on the roll. And it will be in the Halloween section $6 a roll, and I'm telling you, you get a whopping amount. And I just started trimming things down to make them fit. And you do the same with your fabric of choice or colors. But these burlap ones, they are so farmhouse style. You really, truly could use these beyond your fall decor and use them as your farmhouse decor because they are suitable. They're all about fresh market. They're about pumpkins. They have a little truck. And that's another thing I was going to tell you. If you wanted to, you could take and actually paint the fabric once you put a coat of Mod Podge on with your markers. And then to seal them in, just put a little more Mod Podge. You want to sand the edges and make sure there's no roughness or no rough edges because burlap gets really stiff with Mod Podge. All fabrics do. And trim off any differences and make them silky smooth. Grab your Sharpies. I got my black and my orange. And I just basically used my own freestyle handwriting and wrote on there harvest time and pumpkins and apple cider and all that I wanted it to say, and happy fall, y'all. So you can really customize them up, especially if you're going to use these as a gift. But think of this as a gift idea, not only for your fall decor, but with the Christmas holiday coming up and Thanksgiving, these would be an exceptionally homemade, handmade, custom-made coasters to fit anyone's decor. And you can do the Christmas ornaments, the Christmas trees, and all of the wood cuts that Dollar Tree offers. Or perhaps you have some in your craft stash and break those open and begin using them. I would love to get my hands on the little truck wood cutouts that would fit these coasters. So here's where we are. This is the 4. I have 2 with the brown and 2 with the orange. So I'm going to show you another little trick you're going to love. Grab one of those boxes from Dollar Tree that has the houses and things, and one of the clay pots. I pre-Mod Podged my clay pot for 2 reasons. 1, it will seal it, and number 2, easy to dust, and I'll be able to paint it, and it'll last forever. So I used my Payne's Gray and painted the wood top because you're going to save the bottom of that box for later on. I've already traced out the area where my pot needs to go and use the E6000 to harness it onto it. Now I need to go back and put my Payne's Gray from Americana. Voila! Now we have a dual duty tray. And this is how it works. So here are the coasters. And I've already sealed this tray with Mod Podge. And now you can flip it over, hide the coasters, and put a floral arrangement in it. Great storage for your coasters, whether it be sitting about for people to use, or you can reverse it in the off seasons and place florals and anything inside of it. I absolutely fell in love. This is my favorite fall DIY project, and this will remain in my decor through the year on in to the other holidays. And here they are. Absolutely charming. farmhouse coasters. Just your style. Farmhouse style autumn maple leaf signage. And this is so easy. I am repurposing a Dollar Tree box sign, and I printed off the maple leaf that has all of the beautiful sayings regarding fall and regarding autumn. So remove the sticky label from off of the back of it. And of course, use your scissors, and the hook that hangs it up comes off real easy. But pick any box. The idea is to pick your graphic and cut it to the size that you need. So I printed mine as close to the size of my frame or my box and fussy cutted it with scissors. This made it perfect, and even though it generally would have a point, mine did not, and well, I fussy cutted it without even realizing it, but it worked out fine. So I selected me a fabric to match all of my decor and trimmed it out. I used my pink and shears because I wanted that little ruffled edge on it, and it looked really great. And I used my Payne's Gray once again to match all of my fall decor. On this DIY, you can select any frame or box. This is just an idea for a sit-about to celebrate fall, and if you enjoy that maple leaf so much as I did, you can print this off. You will find it on my Pinterest postings pins, or you can pull it up on Google and just type in maple leaf, and you will see the graphic, all the sayings. Download it to your computer, and then pull it up on your printer and choose your paper for your printer as though it were a photograph or whichever size you desire. Once you've Mod Podged and put a base coat in the bottom, put the fabric on it, and then put a coat on the fabric along with your graphic, you can then start trimming it out. Since this was set in like a shadow box, I had this beautiful pumpkin ribbon, and it looked perfect for my little signage. This will match all of my decor. And I had the orange jute twine that I made into a jute twine bow. And I really just put this up in the corner to simply accentuate the frame and help that color to pop, and voila, she is so stunning. Perfect. This is the paper bag pumpkin. If you've never made one of these, they are great fun. So grab you a paper bag and all the plastic bags that you desire. And this is all of my ribbon from Halloween. Since I don't do Halloween DIYs, I'm going to use them. You can normally do this with scrap fabric. The idea here is to get your bag stuffed to the height or thickness and depth that you want your pumpkin to be. And as you see here, I'm just pressing it and shaping it and working it with my hand, kneading it, so to speak, but don't tear your bag, and just keep twisting it. And that is going to be your top. So there's a certain way we need to put the ribbon on, or your pieces of fabric scraps. So you can break your fabric stash if you have one, or any of your scrap fabric. So I got all my ribbons out, and as you see, some of them have Halloween, some of them have autumn, but this fall paper sack or paper bag pumpkin, fall paper bag pumpkin, you're going to love. Remove the wire out of your ribbon if you have wire ribbon. But if you have a lot of excessive ribbon like I do, this is an excellent, excellent DIY for fall, and you will have a magnificent looking pumpkin. So the very first one is basically from one side to the other. Be careful as to where you glue your ribbon at the top, or fabric if you might be using scrap fabric to make this. You want to kind of keep it right at the neck, but just slightly above the neck or twist of your paper bag, because we will be involving those pieces of ribbon when we go about making our stem. And here is some Halloween ribbon. There again, remove the wire out of it. And I did have to use my needle nose pliers. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize some of these are really truly tight in this ribbon. I've never struggled so hard to get a piece of wire out of wired ribbon in my life. But if you gotta do it, you gotta do it. But anyway, moving on to the ribbon part. So as you can see here, I'm going right beside of the previous one. And I did fold mine in half because, as I spoke before, scrap fabric is commonly used when you make these. But I thought, wow, that'd be a great idea for all that beautiful ribbon. How gorgeous would that be? And I just knew in my mind I could see how pretty it was. So I went 3 ribbons over because that was the width of my side, and that was about the max you're going to get. Now you need to go over and do side to side and start bringing it towards the corners. And there you'll see me lay this ribbon down, and be strategic about how you place it. You want a little bit of glue right there at the neck and just above it. And if you need to, just a dab to hold the ribbon closed. Some of them are really stiff, and so I had to do that. But I mean, just the tiniest amount, pretty much what glue was left on my Surebonder glue gun nozzle was sufficient to get my ribbon to tack. And then I went across those. Once again, each thing's going to be holding each other. So do not feel like you have to use a massive amount of glue. You really don't want to. It stiffens the fabric, and the idea is to make this very silky, smooth, really high-end fall decor paper bag pumpkin. I know it sounds crazy, doesn't it? Paper bag, high-end, but it works. And this is looking just gorgeous. So we're going to move on next and see how it's developing. See, it's just really coming together and keeping that neck twisted. So the next ribbon is going to go right beside of that, but bring it towards the one that you ended on before. As you can see, you could do the opposite side, but I just found it didn't seem to look right or balance right, and it just, the placement didn't look right to me, so I ended up going to the left of mine. So about 3 ribbons is as far as you're going to go. And this is on about a medium-sized paper bag, and it's all repurposed, recycled goods. We are repurposing paper bag, we're repurposing plastic bags, and we're repurposing craft paper, and we're repurposing ribbon. And with the craft paper, this is going to make the neck. This is how we get our stem for our pumpkin. You may opt to use something different. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. It's totally all paper bag. And I took the craft paper that was actually in a packaging and cut it wide. It's probably about 2.5 inch, 2 3/4 inch wide strip. Balled it up. That softens the craft paper, and it makes it easier to work with and mold it and form it. So you'll put your spots of glue. Then once you get it started twisting, it all kind of falls in place. Then a spot of glue to hold it. Now mine, I needed an extra one in order to start making my stem. And guys, this stem is not that attractive. It's really not, but it's the way it turned out. And once again, it's handmade. And I just thought it shaped up beautifully. Using the truffle to paint the paper bag is all you're going to need, unless you want to do some kind of other color. And now I had these tags from the Target Dollar Spot. It had Hello Fall, the maple leaves from Dollar Tree, and the orange G-twine. Tied my G-twine on, attached my little tag, and put a little catch knot there to keep it from sliding off so it'll stay forever and ever. And my little burlap leaves, and I did add an additional one. And here's your little tip. Always use some Scotch tape on the wired G-twine. If you will tape it there before you snip it with your needle nose pliers, it will not unravel. It will stay put, and therefore you're cutting right on the Scotch tape. And so when you cut it in half, you have part of it still attached to the roll, and then you have your other part that you need. And I made my curlicues for my pumpkin. There is a name for these, and forgive me, I do not know the proper name. Someone tell me, put it in the comment box, spell it, and I'll learn how to say it. But for the time being, for entertainment, this is how she looks. Voila. Absolutely stunning. Oh my goodness. Can it get any cuter? These are truly must-haves for fall. And this would look lovely in an office. The fall pattern pumpkin. This is so beautiful. I was inspired by Pinterest. I saw it and I thought, I wonder if I could use the Dollar Tree pumpkin. Well, I have the stencil with the flowers on it. Now, first take your painter's tape or some kind of tape and tape away the stem, and then put a strip in the center. We need an exact half. I grabbed my Midnight Folk Art acrylic paint and painted one half. This will match my current fall decor, and I wanted that deep dark blue. Also, a makeup sponge. Take a little bit of white and I mixed it in with my midnight blue and worked it really good. And once I got it the color I wanted, I laid my stencil down and I started using the makeup sponge to press it on to make my pattern. That is so beautiful. And then just be careful and just select where you would like your stencil print to be placed. And she is so beautiful. I mean, this truly is high end, very beautiful. And these pumpkins are expensive. They are gorgeous. Paint your stem. I did mine in the truffle chalk paint. That worked out great for me. And originally I was going to keep a division between the stem and the printed pattern and the fabric. Now that was another thing I did. These have been painted and pattern printed with like a water wash. And I used the clips to hold my burlap in place as my extra set of hands so I could get it flipped around because I had a big piece and it's sliding and, well, you know, it's DIY. Once again, that famous Sharpie marker. I honestly don't know what I would do, guys, without my marker. My Mod Podge the side, and then place the burlap onto it. This gives this pumpkin half fabric and half painted print. And I almost started to do stenciling on the burlap fabric, and I changed my mind. But you need to Mod Podge the fabric as well. And if you look at this on Pinterest, the inspirational piece, they are so gorgeous. They are very high end, very beautiful. And our Dollar Tree pumpkin is just as stunning, just as beautiful. And this would look so good if the stencil pattern was on the burlap. Now, the fabric 3-dimensional paint that Dollar Tree has, what you're going to do, you're going to make lines angled from left to right or right to left. Because of my pumpkin, I will need them left to right with the 3-dimensional paint. Then you're going to go back and put a little T on them. This makes it look like it's truly been fabric stitched onto this pumpkin. This truly drove it home. It really made it look that high end with the stenciling and then with the stitches that have been placed on it. So take your time, and I chose to get one of the blessed wooden pieces and use the wood glue to glue it in place. I love it, and I put a leaf on it and some berries. It's so beautiful. I know you're going to enjoy each and every one of these fall DIYs for your decor. Customize them to fit your taste. Subscribe to the channel for upcoming videos. And until the next DIY, well, I'll be crafting, y'all. Enjoy your fall. It's fall, y'all.